Welcome to the weekly roundup, Friday, April 8th, 2022, in which I am issuing a recall of something I've been teaching or a little modification of it, which I really wanted to mention it for several reasons. But before we get into it, I'm intending to do a weekly roundup every week. We'll see if it happens or not. I'll try my best. The comment we're going to look at today is actually from 2 weeks ago. So to just comment on this particular week. We had Diego, sleep coach from Italy, join us. I think that was a really nice episode. We shared some insights into how he left insomnia. We did open class today. Thought that was a really nice one too. But yes, going to the recall I'm talking about here. I want to show you a thread that is from I think 10 days ago or so. Yeah, 10 days ago. And these are comments on Insomnia Insight number 393, in which I talk about this like roadmap from struggle to peace when it comes to sleep. And Beanie Z, big supporter of the channel, thanks so much for all your help, says, I'm in the reward phase, but it doesn't feel like a reward yet, LOL. I have lots of fatigue most of the day, but I guess that's understandable because I was in a deep struggle for several months. I guess the fatigue will lift as I allow more time to pass, yeah? That was the question. And if you check out that thread, I sort of went in the direction of saying, like, when we're tired and we're sleeping more and we're tired and it doesn't feel good to be tired, it feels kind of, it bothers us, then I said it's helpful to learn about emotional fatigue when we just feel tired all the time, we wonder why, nothing helps, etc. That's often emotional fatigue. But I realized that there was sort of I hadn't seen this very clearly. To me, it had been almost like black and white. That when we feel tired and it feels good to be tired, like tired in a good way, then that's like physical fatigue. Let's call it that, or post-arousal fatigue. That when the arousal lifts and we feel the fatigue that we've had inside us because the hyperarousal goes away, that feels good. And when fatigue doesn't feel good, we don't like it, then it's emotional fatigue. I've sort of had that way of thinking, and the conversation with Beanie Z made me realize that this isn't true. And this is why I'm issuing a recall. When I said that in the past, please disregard that. And I think it is much more true to say that this post-arousal fatigue that I talk about in that roadmap and that I discuss with Beanie Z, that post-arousal fatigue happens when we've been really scared and worried and anxious about sleep in this context, and when that worry fades away, we sort of start feeling how tired we actually are because that hyperarousal, the adrenaline, the cortisol, isn't there to like mask our fatigue, and that sometimes feels good. A lot of people tell me like, I'm feeling tired now, but in a good way. I feel sleepy. I haven't felt like this in a long time. That feels good. But it doesn't necessarily feel like that. I also have a lot of people who tell me that I know that I'm tired because I'm no longer anxious, and it doesn't feel good. I sleep actually more than before. I sleep easier, but I feel really tired. It doesn't feel good, but I know I'm on the right path. It kind of feels like, that they have that sense like Beanie Z that I think I'm on the right path, although the fatigue doesn't feel good necessarily. So my recall here is all about the post-arousal fatigue doesn't necessarily feel good. It can also feel not good, like, it can kind of bother us, but it's still a nice sign. And emotional fatigue, I think of more as, that is more like when it's an ongoing struggle and when it's mysterious and we don't understand it, and etc. So I hope this recall helps clarify. And I also wanted to share it because I also want to share the process of how like the teaching develops, how Nato develops. It develops like this, from like the constant interactions between coaches, clients, followers, subscribers, and like in this constant like, learning teacher, like who's the teacher, who's the learner. Sometimes it's kind of fuzzy, but I think this is how things develop. So I want to share that as well. And with that said, I wish you a really wonderful weekend. I look forward to having you back next week. We're gonna have Heard Online. We're gonna have a class with Michelle and Alina, where we talk about the sandstorm and everything is really, really confusing, and much more. So look forward to having you back next week. Until then, have a really nice weekend. Bye for now.